What's up, everybody? I know it's been a couple of days since I've been streaming. I just needed some time for myself, you know? It's one of those kind of things. One of those kind of things. One of those kind of things. So basically, I'm just gonna be playing some Blitz. I was playing some Rapid earlier. I've been playing a lot of 15 plus 10. And I was playing some 1 hour games just now, and I was doing a lot better, but now it's time to take a little bit of a break from hard calculation, and let's just kind of relax, play some Blitz. I think we're going to start out just playing some arena games, not really focus too much on, things, but in a little bit, I'll accept challenges. So, at any time, just send me a challenge. I'm playing 5-minute games. If you're on stream, send me 5-minute unrated. Just to keep things fair. We're here for fun. We're not here to, try to cheat the streamer. Okay, come on. You guys gonna try to cheat the streamer out of rating points? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah, basically, yeah, let me fix something really quick. Make that webcam a little bigger. I think we can do good here. Okay. Yeah, make that webcam big enough so you guys can see my beautiful face. Okay, let's just get going. Let's just get going. Not focus too much on being a weirdo. Okay, let's All right, let's go. Let's just get started. Let me get my mouse pad. Get nice and cozy. Don't really need the keyboard. Just, yeah. Okay, yeah. Just working on some basic stuff. I have this issue where I overcomplicate positions. I should basically just try to keep things nice and balanced. There's only 5 minutes on the clock. Keeping things simple, even just trading off the queens and losing castling ability. It's still not the end of the world. So it's like, I just gotta keep things nice and simple. Maybe even not worrying so much about creating imbalances. So even bringing the bishop here to e6, I'm gonna have to take back on on e6, but with the pawn on f, but it's okay. I'm not so worried so much about trying to get the perfect position. I'm basically trying to keep the material as even as I can. Obviously, imbalances are bad. Here, let's get a little bit active here. Maybe I can double up pawns. So maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's not so bad. This situation, maybe get more center pawns and then open up the G file if you take here. So if I take here, doubles up pawns. If the bishop takes here on f6, okay, and this is actually doubling up. Oh, it's into check. Oof. Okay, well now just get the knight right here. Still, you will get a okay, so this actually isn't so bad. Let me just take the knight first. After doubling up the pawns, it opens up the queenside king. So how about I can also... I don't know if the rook on f8 is better than the rook on g8. Let me just see what happens. Let's get h6 going. Just that also kind of strengthens the g5 squares. So, hey Manu, will you cut your hair on live TV? No, not unless I had like a hairstylist. This is actually pretty bad, but not if I just take the bishop first, because now the knight can capture. Very sleepy. Yeah, it's one of those nights. Oh, I do lose a rook, but it's I do get this semi-open file. This is not so good. Not so good. This is kind of why I have low rating for blitz. I have also a lower rating for rapid, but at least with rapid, I'm not losing because of like insane imbalances, right? Like, so when I'm playing rapid, especially when I'm playing like 60 minutes or longer, when I'm playing rapid, I have a lot more time to blunder check. I have a lot more time to really just like, you know, think through like, hey, what can my opponent do? What's the worst thing my opponent can do? Blitz, it's just kind of social and relaxed, you know, it's just having a good time, you know. I had some coffee. It's one of those nights, you know. So I think I don't want to do anything too crazy. Here, actually, let's push here because if takes, knight takes, and then I do have a fork here, so white has to do something. Like if you take here, I get a really active knight, but the rook, one of the rooks can just come over, but then that does get rid of the open file here. Yeah, so I definitely don't want to trade off rooks in either scenario. Yeah, let's just prevent pawn movement. This is not good for me. It's even material, but so I need to actually just kind of stay focused, not tilt, because I think letting the rook come in is unfortunately the better option than allowing a pass pawn. Okay, so I think maybe, okay, let's just trade off this pawn and then get the rook on the F file, aiming at that pawn, the backwards pawn. So maybe I can attack the rook, but then rook h8 pins the knight. I mean would, oh wait. Yeah, if I attack the rook, it attacks the pawn, but then rook h8 pins the knight. Then I have to play knight df6, and then after knight df6, then the pawn is still backwards, but you can defend it with either rook d3. Oh, there goes the light. Either rook d3. Oh, let me plug this in. This is boring? Well, then why are you watching? I was here because I read Chess Streamer. Well, welcome, Civil Monkey. I'm basically like kind of a primate. Well, I guess we're all primates. Just kind of, you know, shuffling wood around, or I guess shuffling pixels. I guess that's really what's going on. We're shuffling pixels. Training for night ambush? Exactly. This is how it goes. It's how we roll, you know, like it's how we roll. Basically, I think I have to play knight d8, attack the rook. After knight h8, I do have to respond with knight f6, but then I can't attack the pawn. But I think I have to play really defensive here. Okay, so this is a little different. I think now, maybe get the active king into the center. Defending the knight. I'm still attacking this pawn. It's not game over yet. I think that white has the more active rooks, however. Okay, yeah, let's get into the center. Oh, and then I lose my knight, though. But then I get a pawn back. Oh, yeah, this is nasty. Now it's much worse for me. It was okay for a split second, but white was still better because of the really active rooks and the rook pair. I have a rook, and I had a rook and two knights. Now I have a rook and one knight, and pawns are dropping. Okay, so this is not good. Pawns are dropping. I'm down 2 pawns. I'm going to be down 3 pawns. Although, no, never mind. I'm down 2 pawns. If you take that pawn, I have another pawn. but what am I gonna do about it, right? So it's like, yeah, maybe start taking more pawns, but there's no real threats. Like, I have no real, like, you know, mating nets. This is pretty dangerous. This is pretty dangerous. Okay, let's get a little closer to that rook. Enemies attack when you sleep. Oh, that's a big load off, knowing that they can attack when I sleep. Like, I mean, I could have not known that, and then I would be, you know, now I know I'm better off because they attack when I'm asleep. Let me just at least just play whatever I can. You never know. Well, first of all, I could win. I could win on time. I could flag. I got 20. You know, White has a positional advantage and a material advantage and a clock advantage, but that clock is ticking. Okay, so let's see who can play faster at this point, which is that kind of what Blitz turns into. You know, sometimes it's not really about how hard you play chess, it's how hard you play the clock, which is fine. You know, I already did my rapid games today. I did pretty well. I raised, I think, like 50 rating points, maybe more. Okay, yeah. I think attacking that pawn probably for now. Yeah. Yeah, White's getting into time trouble here. Okay, just defend the pawn. Oh, it's gonna be huge attack. Oh, I went on time. So that's where it goes. That's where it goes. That's where it goes. Hello, Random Facts. How you doing? Hey, Raven. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome back, Raven. Yo. Shave your hair? I'm not gonna shave my hair. I mean, I would do it for like. Everybody has a price, right? Because hair grows back. But then I would have to be that bald chick. Like, what's my price? I think $100,000. We raise $100,000, then I'll shave my head on stream. I mean, because that's like a year of income. No, because if I make that much money, I might lose my SSI, and then I would be screwed. I'd have to make more money. And as a bald person, I mean, I might get that niche, you know, like kind of modeling gig as the bald chick, you know, like, so I might be able to make more money and you know, standing out a little bit more. But $100,000 is not enough, because if I lose my SSI, I better have money for a couple of years while I try to build up more capital. So I would say at least $350,000. Then I'll shave my head on stream. Hair, 10K max. Well, if you really want to see it happen, 350K. If we can get to 300, and you don't have to give it all to me. If you can raise that much money through the community, 350K, I shave my head on stream. Play chess too? No, we're just gonna play more of this arena just to chill and socialize. You know, it's Blitz to me is like what you play like when you're in the coffee shop hanging out with your friends, or when you're at the pub drinking beer with your friends, or when you're in the park, hopefully not drinking beer with your friends. But, you know, like, I feel like Blitz is really just like social chess. You're not really playing to improve your chess. You're kind of playing to just like maybe keep chess a little bit on your mind, but also to socialize, which makes it great for stream. However, you know, if you don't play like, you know, at least rapid time controls, 15 plus 10 is a huge trade-off. You're not playing, I mean, I like playing like 60 minutes or longer. I was playing some 60 minutes games earlier and I played significantly better, although I did blunder one of my rooks for no reason on my first game tonight. But, you know, I picked myself back up and I fixed it. You know, I played better the next couple of games. You know, that's how it be sometimes. Now, 10K is not enough to shave my head. That's a whole year. I already make like less than, that's only like 3K more than what I make a year. Or in church, drinking beers, playing blitz. I mean, exactly. See, Civil Monkey knows how to party. You know you're my kind of guy. Or gal. So basically, 10K is only 3K more than I earn, and it might jeopardize my income. Okay, so even earning like 3K more a year, like 10K is like all of my money at once, but plus 3K. But it's only 3K more. I might jeopardize my income, and I would have to be bald for like months or a year or longer. Hair takes a long time to grow back. I've been growing my hair out for like, I think like since the last I cut it was like 1.5 years ago. Okay, like I don't want to cut my hair again. I'm growing it out. Like I would go to a stylist, maybe trim it a little bit, clean it up. But you know, like actually like cutting it, especially shaving it, Jesus Christ, nobody likes a bald chick. I know it's like, it's a thing, like, right? Like it is kind of unique. It's a little, shocking a little bit, but there's a reason why it's a little unique and a little shocking, because most women don't do it. Usually guys do that. It's kind of normalized for guys. Although if you really think about it, isn't it also kind of weird that, like, that guys shave their heads? It should either be like, if women shave their head more often, it would be a little bit more normalized and people wouldn't be as weirded out by it. Or if men didn't shave their heads, then it would be weird for both. So like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where if I did it, it would have to be enough money to, first of all, even 3K more than what I earn in a year jeopardizes my income, which jeopardizes my livelihood. So I would have to have enough money to at least be able to have enough of a buffer to start earning, at least through investments, some kind of profit per year, or some kind of like, keeping it afloat so I don't lose my livelihood. I would say 350K, because if I shave my head, not only do I have to suffer the emotional damage of having to be bald for like a year, basically, but I would also jeopardize my livelihood. I would have enough money to get by, but 350K is not really enough to live on. Like I have to think long term here. There goes my queen. I'm not thinking long term in the game. Guys shave their heads because of balding usually, unless they're Danny DeVito. I mean, nobody can compete with Danny DeVito, woman or man. I don't know why I said woman first. Does that say something about Danny DeVito or something about me? I actually don't know. Nobody is more attractive than Danny DeVito. It's just a fact. Okay, like, come on. Like, you can't be that short and that bald and yet still be attractive. Like, there's something about him, man. Like, he's got something going on. It's like whatever he's doing, it works. A saintly monk. Your player of 2200 elo. You want to play? Yes. After this terrible game that I destroyed. I ended up destroying my own game. This is terrible, and now I'm just blundering. Well, let's see if if my opponent knows how to finish this off. Finish her. Finish him. Finish her. Fatality. Here, let's just throw away pieces. Beyond mortal concepts of gender. He's beyond mortal concepts of sex appeal. He's beyond mortal concepts of like being a human. Like he is just, Danny DeVito is the one. Like if the Matrix exists, Danny DeVito is the one. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, Keanu Reeves. It's a close battle between Keanu Reeves and Danny DeVito, but just Danny DeVito has that, that DeVito edge. Okay. You're not into guys, but obviously when it comes to Danny DeVito, that's a whole different box of hams. Exactly. If you're a guy and you made out with Danny DeVito, you get a free pass. If you're a chick and you make out with Danny DeVito, you get a free pass. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, you want to send me a challenge? Santi Ferreira? Santi Ferreira. Santi Ferreira. Santi Ferreira. Reira. Danny is 80% self-rising? Still rising. Like, is he like bread? Like, that's like self-rising? Like, I think Danny DeVito is such an amazing person that it oozes into his physical appearance. It's more than physical appearance. It's like, he's got like a charisma that like pulls people in. Like his voice, his attitude, just the way he holds himself. Like, there is no comparison. Nobody can compete with Danny DeVito. It is just impossible. You will not be able to compete with Danny DeVito. Don't even try. Okay, be like Will Riker. Don't even try. Did you want to send me a challenge? Santife? A carved sourdough? Like a steamed ham. Like a steamed ham, okay. What time is it? It's time to put Danny DeVito back into his closet, okay? No, I mean, I didn't even check the time. It is 1 a.m. 1:06 a.m. Our Father in Heaven, give us the strength to witness Danny DeVito. Witness him! Witness him! Witness him! Witness ham. Joe Pesci? Oh my goodness. Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci in the same room? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's actually kind of a sad story. I didn't know that about Matilda. Danny DeVito is the kind of guy who could eat a box of peaches like an islander. Okay, it looks like that person's not going to challenge me. Let me know when you're ready to challenge. I'm going to go continue my games. If you want to send me a challenge, rebeccaloran on chess.com. Just make sure it's unrated. Pesci is fish, like pesci. Like pescado. Okay, well, this is... Let me just get developed. I don't want to think too complicated. I just want to get my pieces out, get castled, connect my rooks, get the queen onto a, somewhat active square. You know what? Let's not complicate things. It's almost like I'm playing the white pieces in a queen's pawn game. Okay. You know what? I have the ability to play here. Yeah, if I kick the knight, knight comes over to g5. Yeah, that's too complicated. You know what? I could just castle right here. I think it's fine. The problem is if you push here, I don't know what the knight's going to do on g5. There's no white light squared bishop attacking f7 or anything. Yeah, let's just push. I think knight comes over to g5. I mean, or you could do something really convoluted over here, but not really sure. Okay, knight g5. I think I can just castle right here, but oh. Okay, the thing is, if I attack this bishop, pawn comes in, pawn comes in. Nothing I can do there. There's the knight defending. And well, I could do that, but the knight's there. See that now I can't do that. Now I just castle. Okay, so now in this situation, I think I just have to kick the knight. The problem is, even if you do sacrifice the knight here, it opens up the rook, which is kind of messy. Okay, now I just have to capture this pawn back. There's no really no tactics or anything, so not that I can see. I could reposition this knight. Or defend it. You know, I think it's gonna be good to have active knights. Now they're defending each other. There's no king there. Since the knight's defending c6, I think I can kick the bishop. Queen's defending the bishop on d6. Maybe add another defender, queen a5. Pawn's undefended. It would take 2 turns. Yeah, let's just, and that also pins the knight. Maybe I can attack the knight somehow. Okay. Wait, what did I just lose a bishop for, oh, I just removed the defender from the bishop. Yikes. I am dumb. Okay, it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's fine. I'll be okay. I'll live. I'll live. Olive? Jeez. You know what? I may as well start doing stuff like this, attacking the queen. It obviously has escape squares. You know, this is why we can't really take blitz too seriously. It's just like a social event. You know, it's like we're hanging out, we're playing blitz. We're gonna make stupid moves like removing the defender, but honestly, even any of the parts of this position are really only there because of compounding inaccuracies. So, you know, it's all these kind of things. Okay, well, this case, I literally just win a queen. See, a blunder can happen, right? Now I'm winning, but I'm losing on time. Whoops. Uh-oh, I forgot about time. I have 9.5 seconds. I could have taken that. Okay, let's just take this. Take this. Take the bishop. Keep the knight, check. Move the rook, threatening the pawn. Oh, I lost some time. Checkmate. Pawn to h5 just because I'm not reading the chat while I play because sometimes you guys give moves and I'm not allowed to do that. So I'm not looking at the chat during the games. Use your king as bait to get their queen. If they don't have a queen, they lose. Exactly. Sometimes you just have to like sacrifice your king. You know, so sometimes that's the only thing you can do. Is just completely, you know, like king to I5. You know, it's definitely a possibility. You know, sometimes just sacrificing your king for a pawn is the only thing you can do. It's just how it goes. Okay, this is very serious. This is very serious. I have to deal with this. There's only one thing I can do. Do the hustle. Bum, 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 bum. No, there's only one thing I can do here. I'm pretty sure. Just move the pawn to block it. Pawn comes in. Let's take with the knight. Defended by the queen. Whoops. Okay, well this is really tricky. This is really tricky. This is really tricky. Okay. Yikes. Oops. What have I done? Why did I do this? I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you've done this. Why did I do this? Oh, let me just sacrifice my queen. It's actually not a sacrifice. It's a hanging queen. Let me just sacrifice my bishop. It's not actually a sacrifice. It's a checkmate. You must sacrifice the rook. You need a king. That was the joke, Mooncat. That was the joke. You guys don't understand jokes? You guys understand that I'm here on stream and I'm like trying to entertain you, right? Not everything I say is 100% serious. Do you guys think that everything I say is truthful? Like there are times where I'm talking about real life stuff, but that doesn't mean every single thing I say is 100% truthful. You guys need to learn how to take a joke. Like, come on. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bro. It's just one of those nights, isn't it? Well, no, the knight needs to move. So it's not one of those nights, it's two of those nights. Actually, I think this is in this case I want to get the queen there. Kind of a standoff. Oh, you're actually going to help me develop. Well, that's with tempo too. Okay, well that is just an absolute failure to communicate. I don't want to go here. I think it does allow some tempo. I think instead I can attack the knight this way, but also attack the center. Okay, well in this case, start with trading off the knight. Now I can attack f7. Okay, well this is pretty simple right here. Just go back here. Okay, well in that case, I'm gonna have a reveal check, attacking the rook, and it moves. Oh, okay. This is yeah, that's the only reply. Let me just castle. I think I like this position for white. I have the center here. Yeah, let me just check. And then develop the knight. Get the rook here on, get the rook here. Oh. Yeah, rook fe1. Yeah, I think just taking here, pulling a pawn away from the center. Rook fe1, defending the center pawn. I think getting a knight outpost. with check. So it's with tempo. You have to guard that pawn, so you have to move here. If you move here, I get a fork. Okay, so now I get the pawn. Now I can play rook. Let me just take the bishop. And it's with tempo. Now I have central rooks. Okay, now just push the pawn. Now I can push the F pawn. I can always move the king over to a light square because there's only. Okay, yeah, let's start attacking. Get a more active bishop, more scope. Okay, that kind of locks down the rook. Basically, I want to push pawns, make a pawn chain towards the center. Not really worried too much about that. Okay, yeah, pawn's now defended. Okay, well, I can do something here. Check. King has to move away. Okay, do I really want to trade off rooks? Okay, now let's just keep checking. Okay. How about I double up rooks? Okay, let's defend against that. Maybe move the king up. Okay. Get a central king. Okay, check. Check. Okay. You know what? I'm up pawn. Let's just trade. Okay. And now start attacking pawns. And yeah, let's attack pawns. Oh, I should have moved the king first. Oh well. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's just do this. Trade rooks. Now I have a center pawn. Get a really strong king. Bishop can take care of these pawns somehow. Okay, push that, so now it's no longer in danger by the bishop. Opposite colored bishop, so yeah, let's defend that pawn. Actually, no, I need to attack this one. If it pushes, push, take, take. Okay, just take it. If you go here, I need to go here. Okay, now I have a passed pawn. Okay. Opposite colored bishops are trouble, but you can only do so much at a time. Okay, yeah, now you're gonna let me move the pawn. Okay, now I have two passed pawns. Only one of them. Okay, yeah, let's just check. And now you can't stop me from promoting. And I'm gonna let's just take the bishop while we can. I don't want to calculate, a checkmate here. I can just trade off the bishop, defend it first. If I trade off the bishop, I have another passed pawn, and the king's well positioned. That pawn's never going anywhere. So, you know, I have a queen regardless. Huh? Yeah, and there's just, the game is abandoned. The person, he rage quit. Says kid named Brain Rot, go to sleep. What? You are sick in the head. True. How long have you been playing chess? I've been planning to learn his new hobby. I have been playing. I'm glad that we got another player. Welcome to this beautiful game, Paul Danino. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Chess. Well, welcome to the world of chess. The door opened and you walked through the door. May God have mercy on your soul. Welcome to this game of chess. I knew how to play chess since I think I was about 6 or 7. 6, 7, maybe 8 actually. I know I learned how to play checkers, but I think I also learned how to play chess at the same time. I definitely learned at 9 or 10. But I'm pretty sure I played at least without really knowing how to play, at least by 8. I had the Chess Master on the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. And I also had we had a game on Commodore TV that was like different board games. There was chess, there was checkers, there was backgammon. It was 3 games in one, and I played all of those as a kid on the TV because it had like a remote. It was like a DVD player, but like it was for video games. It was basically an Amiga 1500 or whatever you call it. I don't even know which Amiga version it was based off of. I don't think it was based off Amiga 500. I think it was based off Amiga 1000. It was like Amiga 1000 Premier or Amiga 1000 Plus with some additional hardware, like some RAM chips or something. Amiga was where a lot of video games were made and then ported to different systems later, like Lemmings. Lemmings was ported to and SimCity. SimCity was on Amiga. Amiga was like a huge like late 80s video game developing console and music development, graphics development, for film editing and all sorts of stuff. Amiga was a huge deal. It kind of died after a couple of years, but Amiga is still alive as a hobbyist thing, but we're not talking about Amiga here. We're talking about chess. I joined the chess club in 4th grade when I was 10, and I got a chess computer for my birthday that year. I think when I turned either when I turned 10 or when I turned 11. I forget which. I would play for hours in my room with the chess computer. I remember I liked playing the Sicilian a lot because the computer played it a lot. And it would have it was one of those Radio Shack chess computers. And you would progressively increase the skill. If it got too hard, I would go back down. And I just played against the chess computer because it was fun. And because I didn't really have anyone to play with. Everybody was tired of getting defeated. The only person I couldn't defeat when I was a kid was my dad. But he didn't really have time to play so much. We would just watch TV and stuff. So eventually I just kind of I was, in my room every day, just playing chess. And I never really got that good, because a chess engine is not the same as a coach, but I did at least have fun and I played a lot of chess. If you are really serious about getting into chess, don't overthink it. Just learn some basic fundamentals on chess.com, especially with the Diamond membership. You get access to every single training tool you can possibly ask for. My recommendation as an absolute beginner, go through the basic introductory concepts, how to move the pieces, what to do in the opening. Don't dive too much into training materials. Just do the basic how to play chess. I can even show you. You basically, I think, where do you go? You go to, where do you actually go? Rules. How to play chess. There's a how to play chess article. Just read that article and you'll be good. You have everything you need to actually play. And there's more articles, but I think there actually is an interactive, you go to courses, I think. There's a beginner starter kit, right? I actually think there is like a how to play chess actual thing though. Like and it's kind of like a video game. You just go through it. I can't find it. Oh, Classroom. No, that's analysis. That's if you want to do interactive coaching with somebody, or go over a game with somebody you play. And you can also do voice chat. So the Classroom feature is pretty good, pretty powerful. And if you're good enough at chess, you can become a coach and join the chess.com coaches program, and you can possibly, make some good money. Hopefully I can, start going to tournaments again when I move out of this trailer soon. I'm going to be in an area, I think I'm going to join the Mechanics Institute in San Francisco, and I'm going to start going and getting coaching and going to tournaments regularly. Start getting I want to get my National Master title. Or at least get rated like up to like 1800 plus, and then I have a path, right? And then I have something to aim for. If I can get my National Masters title, I think I could join the chess.com coaches program. Or at the very least I can, offer, some kind of coaching to people like 2000 and below, right? I'm a little bit off from that, but it definitely is a path for me, and I'm going to be able to work on it again soon. I have not worked on chess in a couple of years, but I'm getting back into it, and I'm going to be moving into a healthier environment where I'm going to have a lot more freedom. I'm going to have a lot more energy. I'm going to have a lot more focus, and I can develop my own physical training regime. I can build my modeling career. I can work on art. I can work on my novel. I can work on chess. I really want to get back into chess really hard. I want to go to tournaments, join the Mechanics Institute. So I will have to drop a little bit of money, but the memberships are worth it. To get better, after you've learned the basic rules, every single day, go into custom puzzles. Go about I would say 100 to basically do really low rated puzzles. Some kind of plastic in my keyboard. There we go. I would say since I'm I've my highest rating on Rapid was 1300. I think it's safe to say that I think going to a little bit below your rating, and then maybe a few hundred below that, and then what you do is you go to fork, flush, double attack, pin, and mate in one, and you select all three of those, or you can select one of them at a time. If you're brand new to the game, I would say do at least 100 mate in one puzzles before you do any other puzzles. Just do mate in one. But what I'm doing is basically I just load up those, and there's always some kind of tactical idea. There's a checkmate right here, right? You want to look checks, captures, threats. And then you just do these. Just do them. You want to do really easy puzzles, and you want to do a lot of them. I know that it's really tempting to go in and do the rated puzzles, but those get progressively harder, and then you're spending less time seeing patterns. As a brand new player, and me, I'm kind of more of an intermediate player. Even though I've beaten somebody rated 2100 once in a 15-minute game. I've also beaten somebody who was rated 2000 in an over-the-board game. I've also beaten somebody or gotten close to beating somebody 1800 in a over-the-board tournament. So, I don't really know what my real skill level is. I have to play more games in person to see what my over-the-board rating really is. But I'm going to be doing that when I move out of this trailer. I can't do anything right now. And if sausage, how much veins? What? Is it roast beef or sausage? It's neither of those things. What are we even talking about? I'm not eating food. I'm playing chess. What are you talking about? IM or FM? I mean, I would like to at least start out by getting some kind of get out of provisional, right? I would like to at least get, because I'm provisional. I haven't played a single tournament game on my, I have to get a USCF membership. It's like I'm still provisional. So before I can aim towards I have to aim towards getting out of provisional. And then I aim towards just trying to play as many games as possible and hopefully playing against people higher rated than me. Because when you're higher rated, especially when you're just starting out, over the board tournaments, you'll get a better feel for where your skill is, I think. And there's a check. It's checkmate. So basically, every time you do a chess puzzle, you're trying to look for the patterns, try to look for it very quickly. And you want to do as many as possible, maybe not too many, but you want to do them regularly, every day. Treat it like it's like your warm up, it's like doing some jumping jacks, right? You're doing some basic stuff to to get your chest muscles in shape. You do a lot of mate in one puzzles because you need to be able to see them instantly. Anytime you need to always be on the lookout for checkmates. It's the most important thing to have vision for. And also, if you see enough checkmates, you look at the kind of positions that lead to checkmate and how to avoid them for yourself and how to capitalize them and how to convert positions to positions where you're able to checkmate. So it takes a lot of time. You're not going to learn it overnight. I'm still learning. I blunder a lot, but I'm trying to fix those problems. And the way you fix those problems is not studying a whole bunch, not studying a whole bunch of books. Obviously, if you love books, if you love videos, I think I like what Magnus Carlsen says. It doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're doing something in chess. Stop treating it so seriously. Stop taking it so goddamn seriously. Everybody treats it like, oh, I need to be the best. I need to train. It's like, dude, it's a game. First and foremost, it's a game. Okay? But if you do want to get better, think simpler. Think a lot simpler. You want repetition. You want seeing patterns over and over. And then once you've done those basic things, going through the introductory, basic rules of the game, going through some basic fundamentals in that article, right? And then you want to play 15 plus 10-minute games, nothing faster than that. That's the fastest you can play. 15 plus 10. It's a really good time control. It's called rapid. 15 plus 10 means you have 15 minutes on the clock, and then every time you make a move, it gives you 10 more seconds. So that gives you a minimum of 10 seconds per move. And you'll keep your but then you can probably think longer, right? So and you should think longer as long as you need to, but not too much because you'll get into time trouble. But even if you got down to 10 seconds left, you always have 10 seconds to make a move, even if you're in time trouble. I would highly recommend playing 30 minutes or longer, 60 minutes if you can. But maybe at the beginning it might be better. See, this is where people have different opinions. If you're an absolute beginner, you want to get as many games as possible, but not like blitz, not bullet. You want to play enough time to look over your moves and blunder check, go through a little checklist. At some point, you have to accept that you're not going to know what you don't know. So you just kind of have to look at the best move, find the move you want to play, try to look at what your opponent can do in response to it, use the best of your ability to do that, and just go with it. Have the confidence. And then after the game, you do the game review, and then the engine will kind of go through the moves, and it'll say, here, this is the idea behind this, this is the idea behind this, this is the idea behind this. It's not perfect because it's not a human coach, it's a AI coach, but it's getting pretty good. The game review feature on chess.com is pretty damn good. It's definitely better than not doing a game review at all. At the very least, you should flick through your game and look at it again. Even if you're not using the analysis tool, even if you don't have a human coach, even if you're not using the game review code, at least look at it. Look at it! Look at it! Will you please just look at your rapid games? So basically, play at least 2 rapid games per day. One is white, one is black, and do a game review with each, preferably with a coach. But if in lieu of a coach, use the game review feature. If you're on a free account, then you get 3 game review features a day. So maybe play 3 games per day. Do like 10 to 15 puzzles per day. Do custom puzzles, but if you can't do custom puzzles, then what you can do is you go to puzzles, you go to Puzzle Rush, and you click survival. And then you press play, and then it progressively gets harder. Oh, it looks like I'm still on the last one I was doing. So we're in like the 1,000 ratings now. So basically I need to figure out what to do here. There is a check. And it is checkmate. And basically you just do that over time. You're not going to improve right away, but as long as you do that, the problem I have is that I haven't done this in like a year and a half. But I promise you, if every single day you do some chess puzzles, easier puzzles, preferably custom, and then you lower the rating and you limit it by like just forks, double attacks, fork/double attack, and pins and mate and ones, and you just do many easy puzzles, like just do like at least 15 to 30 puzzles like that, or do Puzzle Rush Survival, and just it progressively gets harder. That's also good too. Just do that like once a day. Play 2 rapid games a day at 15 plus 10 minimum. Preferably do 60-minute games, but if you, like I said, if you're just starting out, you might want to get as many games under your belt as you can, rather than doing like very long games. But if you're only going to play 2 games a day, maybe 60 minutes, and spend time actually blunder checking the best you can. Like, if I make this move, is my opponent going to punish it? What can they actually do if I try to go with this plan? Don't just look at your plan. Look at what your opponent can do. Look at the whole board, because it's a game of perfect information. And like this is my problem, is I need to actually follow through with this. So we can do this together. I want to hold you accountable. 2 games a day, at least. The fastest you can play is 15 plus 10. 15, like it has like a little pipe, like 15-10. Play 2 games a day minimum, actually maximum. Like really, just play 2 games a day. One is white, one is black. Do like 10 to 15 easy puzzles with just narrowing them down to a specific tactic, like forks or pins, or just do mate and ones, or split them, divide them by 3, divide and conquer. Whatever you do, just like keep doing that. Simplify it. Don't watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos. You are not ready. You probably won't be ready until you're like rated like 1800 plus. And then maybe you can watch some videos. I would still say that your best bet is to just play a lot of games, analyze the games, and just regularly kind of do some tactics puzzles. Like every day. Do at least like, whatever you can every day. And don't play Blitz, don't play Bullet. I know I do it a lot because I'm streaming, but I also understand that I'm not trying to improve my chess when I play Blitz. If you play Blitz, you're not going to improve. You should treat it as just social. Like it's what you're doing just for fun. But if you're actually serious about studying, play 15-10 or slower, preferably slower. Preferably slower than 60 minutes. Honestly, if you can play over the board tournaments, like at 120 minutes, do it. Play at least like 1 classical over the board game per week if you can. I mean, if you're playing tournaments, you're probably going to be playing like 4 a week, right? So 4 over the board games a week. But work your way up to it. On chess.com, you can play 15 plus 10 infinitely. But you have to go through that process. Play the game, try your best, focus, like don't have any other tabs open, don't be streaming, if you're serious about improving. I already did this off stream today. I played I played 4 60-minute games today before I started the stream. If you're serious about chess, close all your tabs, focus on playing a game and playing it as well as you can. After the game, do the game review. or at least look through the moves, preferably with a human coach. If you do that every single day, you will get insanely stronger over time, and it compounds. At some point, you're going to hit plateau, and you're going to be tempted to like read a whole bunch of opening theory or watch a whole bunch of videos. Don't. Stick with the plan. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people trying to sell chess courses, and they make their livelihood on it because there's a lot of people who want to buy those courses and stuff. But I'm telling you, most people who are international masters and grandmasters or super grandmasters, that is their advice. Play as many games as possible, review the games, at least with an engine, or at the very least, just look at the moves on your own without an engine, or get a human coach, and just regularly do tactics puzzles. But even if all you do is play games and review the games, that is literally going to be the absolute best thing you can do. Maybe you can start studying a lot. The consensus, like when you actually ask like a grandmaster if you should study, like when you should like deliberately try to like work on very specific things. I know it's hard to believe, and people are so tempted to open up an opening book or watch an opening video or buy a course on Chessable or whatever. I know people are so tempted, but there are grandmasters out there that I have watched some videos, like several videos of like grandmasters and international masters basically saying that you don't need to study openings until you're like 2100 over the board. And I am dead serious. You do not possess the information, the knowledge, the skill to be able to utilize that opening knowledge. You'd be better off just playing more games and learning from them. That's like, you're getting more bang for your buck because you only have so much time per day. You only have so much energy per day. If you're under 2100 over the board, studying openings is only like, maybe it's going to raise you like 100 points a year or something. But if you play games and you continually review them, you're probably going to earn like 300 to 500 points a year. Like if you're lower rated. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is that when I started doing that regimen, it's so basic. It's so simple. If you just do that every day, the patterns start adding up in your brain. Your brain evolved to recognize patterns. And the same, there have been studies at the top, for chess players, both casual and like kind of club players and grandmasters and above. Well, I guess that's the title, but they're like super GMs. Let's be real. They have done research on they've done like brain scans, like while people were playing, looking at chess positions. It uses the same regions of your brain as recognizing human faces. So that's why pattern recognition, repetition, seeing the same things over and over and over, just going through game after game after game, day by day by day, that is what's going to make you improve. It's not some magic bullet. It's not like reading a chess book that is going to revolutionize your game. It's not knowledge. It's experience. Even losing games, especially losing games, because then you look over it afterwards and you're like, hey, where did I lose the game? Or if you win a game, where did my opponent lose the game? Or did my opponent have a chance to actually win and they just missed it? So like that's why you just do the simplest program possible. And I'm telling you, people are stuck at my rating for like ever. But once I started doing this simplified regimen, I started improving. Now my problem, like I said, is because it takes time. And I kind of, this is why I'm saying that, like, I think once I move out of this trailer, I'm going to have a lot more stable of a living situation and a better mental health. And I'm going to be able to dedicate some serious time into chess. But I can do what I can right now. Minesweeper is better than chess? True. That sounds like some shit a loser says. What are you talking about? Y'all see that method? There's a guy with a moving chessboard? Oh, like the robot one, right? Is premium worth it? Yeah, because of the game review feature. That's like, in my opinion, that's the only reason to get a diamond membership. You have unlimited custom puzzles and unlimited game review. Plus you have a whole bunch of like lessons. Obviously, if you have like a specific issue that you need to resolve, then that's the time to go in and watch a video or do a lesson. Because then you're, I mean, obviously, like I said, you do the introductory lessons first, right? Once you go through these introductory lessons, like you go to the lesson library, right? There's like a learn to play chess. And it's a series of stuff where it teaches you how everything works. Go through that first, obviously. You need to go through those lessons. There's some basic stuff you can learn. But all these other stuff, you don't go through these unless you see a huge problem, like repeatedly showing up. And then you go to that specific thing. Like if you play like a basic opening, and then maybe you need to say like, hey, I keep losing out of the opening. Like you play a very, like let's say you do, the old Indian defense, right? Like it's this position. So like after these moves, and then like maybe you keep losing to a move right here, and you don't know what to do. So then maybe you watch a video about old Indian defense, because you're like, you know what? I've lost like 50 games after this like same exact move sequence, and I keep scratching my head trying to figure it out. Maybe just going over an opening video for that specific idea. But like, don't do that unless you've gathered enough information to know that that's what you need to pinpoint. Don't just like stock up on a whole bunch of different opening theories before you've even used them. I would say that like that's the only potential spot before you're like at the very least over like 1,000 rating. Even then, like 1,800 rating is generally what people say, that you shouldn't even touch an opening video or an opening book until you're 1,800. And then even then, some masters will even say that you shouldn't even study openings until you're 2,100 rating over the board, not online, over the board. Like you've played, because you haven't played enough tournaments. You need to be spending that time and energy actually going to tournaments. You haven't put in the hundreds or thousands of games yet. So like instead of cracking open a book for 4 hours, you could be playing a classical game for 4 hours. Isn't that a better use of your time? Because then you're studying chess for 4 hours in a real game situation, and then you have a PGN. Or, I mean, you have a game record that you could then look over the game with a coach, right? So, like, that's 4 hours that you're developing something that you can study. You're studying while you're doing the game. You have that competitive mindset where you're trying to win, and you're also going to have a PGN that you can study. But if you spent 4 hours doing an opening book, well, you're just doing some theoretical knowledge, and like, who knows if that's ever going to happen in your games. These are the things that a lot of grandmasters and international masters all agree on. Is that obviously they will teach openings because it's the easiest thing to teach, because it starts from the beginning, and people usually think about the opening, but you're not at a skill level. I'm not at a skill level to truly utilize that information. Chess is always a draw. It's actually not. We don't know what chess is not solved, and we're nowhere near solved it. How about a rating of over 9,000? Have you ever queefed? Yes. I remember playing Minesweeper on Windows 95. Yeah, I mean, I had Windows 3.1. Anyway, that's pretty much That's pretty much what you should do. So let's I don't know. Let's just play some 3-2 just for fun. Actually no, 5 minutes is a good time control. I don't know. I like 3-2. Yeah, let's just play normally here. You guys can send me a challenge, by the way, if you want. Make sure it's unrated. But yeah, like, whenever I play Blitz, just remember that you're going to play significantly worse, especially if you're talking to your chat. And especially, like, so I'm not delusional about Blitz. Like, I'm not delusional about it. I know that whenever I play Blitz, I'm not going to improve. I'm playing it for different reasons. I'm playing it because it's just a fun, it's just a simple, low stakes format that I can play while I'm streaming. Like that's why I'm playing. Because it's, you know, it's faster. It's not like, you know, I don't risk like people, you know, it's like a little bit more exciting. Especially since, like, you know, you guys can like laugh at me for, you know, for losing and stuff like that. But yeah, like the thing about Blitz is that if you play too much of it, you start making like huge like psychological problems where you're moving too quickly and you're not like looking at all the moves you can make. That's why I played some 60-minute games earlier. And since I already did that, I'm free to just, you know, hang out on stream and talk to you guys and play Blitz. First of all, I can do whatever I want, but I do want to improve at chess. So that's why playing Blitz is, I don't really see it as improvement. I see it as just like social. Like playing Blitz is like, it's like just, you know, having a cup of coffee. So yeah, I mean, I know people are kind of crazy and they think that like Blitz rating is indicative of your chess ability. I really don't care what you guys think. I've studied a lot of chess. I think I'm pretty strong. It's just online is really cutthroat. And when you play Blitz, you're just going to lose a lot more games. I don't know why you guys are so negative. You're going to get blocked. Like, I'm just playing blitz for fun. You guys can laugh at my rating, but like, if you have a high blitz rating and you're not even you're not even playing rapid games, you're not even playing like over the board games, who cares? You guys are gonna get stuck forever. like you guys aren't gonna improve at chess by just playing blitz, and you guys have some kind of ego about it. You guys are like, oh, if I have a high blitz rating, oh, what, you're not even high rated. You're not even high rated. Like, who cares about your blitz rating? I care about my over the board rating, and I'm not ready to go in. I'm not ready to do that. It costs a lot of money, and I'm waiting until I move out of this trailer, which they have a place for me now. But like, they're going through some procedural things. It's really kind of nerve wracking. It's really kind of nerve wracking because I don't know exactly how long it's gonna take. But they already have a place lined up. And they also have alternatives. So I'm just really trying to. I think actually, if I just trade here, no, I don't know if trading there. You allow the opponent to activate a bishop? I already have an active bishop. You're talking about over here? Or like this? How does that activate a bishop? I already had both my bishops being ketoed. Who has a place for you? I've already talked about it a lot on stream. I am permanently disabled. I have a developmental disorder. It's more complex than it sounds. I have autism spectrum disorder, but there's more to it than just being autistic. I don't want to get into it. It's not worth it. I've talked about it before. Remember me. Hey, Jake Ventura. How you doing? I'm sorry, I don't remember you. I know that I usually remember my viewers, but you'd have to give me more context. Sometimes I don't remember. The name rings a bell, but maybe that's just me misremembering because you said remember me. You'd have to give me a little bit more context, like what we talked about, then I'd remember you. But I'm with an agency that is a regional center that literally, it exists specifically for people like me who need assistance. And there's a housing agency that is that finds a place called a mentor home. It's an FHA, like I think family home assistance. And they basically find a path for you to live a healthy and happy life because I can't do it on my own. I've tried. That's why I'm stuck here in the trailer with my dad. They're trying to get me out of it. I've been here for. I've had issues my whole entire adult life. Actually, my whole entire life. But, you know, let's just kind of chalk up, you know, childhood to, you know, a coin toss. Ever since I was 18, it's been 20 years. I've been completely screwed. And I have not been able to get myself to any kind of success. But ever since I started asking for help, I got my transgender surgeries. All of that taken care of. It took 5 years. But I was deliberate. I kept showing up and I made it happen. I even overcame some diabetic problems to make the surgery happen. I got facial surgery and I got vaginoplasty. Yeah, it's good news. And I'm glad that you're welcome to my channel. Opinion on turtles, they're pretty awesome. Jeffrey Mans. But basically, at some point you have to get over your ego and recognize that there are problems, and if they are unresolved, they aren't going to fix themselves. And I have tried to fix those problems on my own because that's what you're supposed to do, right? I tried. I kept trying. I didn't give up, but without the help of this regional center and the resources that they have, I have a disability. Like I'm getting SSI. But SSI alone is not enough. I need people who can, you know, fill out paperwork for me and open doors for me. Like, I need all that kind of stuff. I need someone to help me through this. Just like in chess, you can't checkmate with just one piece. You need, you know, at least, you know, your king involved. You know, but usually you use one or more, like 2 or more pieces together to deliver checkmate. Life is not a single player game. And unfortunately for me, or I guess fortunately, but like I spent my whole entire adult life flailing around trying to figure out a way to fix my life, to get myself situated, to make a living, I tried it and I tried it and I tried it. And now I'm 38 years old and I am at the cusp of finally getting the support I need. But it's just not there yet, and I have a really hard time trusting it, and I hope you guys bear with me. But talking about this is something I've been dealing with for years, and talking about it, like, it's not good. Stop playing chess and seek therapy. Where have you been? Brain dead, that's not really how it works. Now that you have a Virginia, the money is going to fly in. It's not how it works. In fact, I probably will make less money. But I don't know. I don't really care because it's more important that I have, you know, a body that matches my identity so I can live a healthy and happy life. So that I don't have to constantly be battling against something, beating my head against a wall for a goddamn reason. But people in my chat seem to think that suddenly if you go to therapy, it's going to fix all your problems. What do you think I did for most of my adult life? I tried to fix my problems instead of doing the one thing that mattered. And ever since I started pursuing the one thing that mattered, everything else started falling into place. You're not going to convince anybody. Like, you're working off of hateful misinformation rhetoric. You have no idea what you're talking about. I'm going to ignore you. This is the maximum amount of engagement I'm going to give you is tell you to just fuck off. Yeah, I am on the right path, Fat Tracks. A lot of people, think they know me, they know things, but they don't. They don't know how bad things are and how, if I wasn't getting help, how significantly worse they were. You have no idea because you're not living my life. People are so negative. What? See, this is the thing. You guys jump to so many conclusions. Do you guys understand that I have resources that I fought for to make therapy happen? And like, I've been in therapy for 6 years. While I was getting my surgeries. You can't get surgeries without working on yourself. You can't get surgery. Like, do you guys not understand reality? Do you guys not understand reality? Because that's what it tells me when you guys say the same copy-paste stuff. You guys don't understand reality. You're talking nonsense. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. It's not just an either-or situation. Imagine if you wanted to play chess, but you can't, you don't even know how the pieces move. Trying harder, going to therapy is not going to make you better at chess. You need to like learn how to play, right? The whole fact that people think that therapy is this black and white thing that either it's working or it's not working, that shows me that you have never actually gone to therapy. It tells me more about you guys than it does about me, to be honest. Chat as well tonight? What do you mean just tonight? They're always like this. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been streaming for 6 years while I was going through all this stuff. I've documented it all. I've documented this whole process. So wait, where was the first move that things really went wrong? Because I think when I ignored this, I think this is the biggest one. Like, I honestly think either moving knight h5 or playing h5 straight up. Knight h5 seems a little more active, but also I think h5. Excellent move. What's the best move here? Well, I mean, yeah, that's like threatening that. Yeah, the problem is I just like kind of played a little bit passively because I was thinking about this idea. Then the problem is yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of problems here. Basically, this is where the game started going wrong. Was right here. Like, you know, the engine said this wasn't so great, but this is where it absolutely started going bad. Because I ignored this this idea, and I think just making threats here. And I'm still not doing so good according to the engine, but I think this is completely playable, whereas this one was completely, it was over. My opponent screwed up over here. But then, I think I needed to continue like that, right? Oh no. Okay. Oh, right. But then, yeah, there's a lot of things. Rebecca, hey, Festamania, welcome back. You look blitzed. I didn't eat any edibles. I've been off of weed since since I would say May of last year. I've been off of weed since May of last year. I went to the mental hospital last year, and it kind of, at a certain point, like, you know, this situation is really hurting me. I don't know why people seem to think that if you just fix all your problems in therapy, that it's going to actually fix all your other problems. Like, no, like, what are you guys talking about? Well, you guys see my situation and you don't see the reality that I'm living in. Like, imagine if you were playing chess and every time you made a move, someone like pulled your chair out from underneath you. Or like you couldn't see the pieces. Like, or also like you literally like were not able to see the pieces in your brain either. Like imagine if every single time you made a move, you lost a pawn. Like, that's what I've been dealing with. You guys are crazy if you think that it's like, yeah, I don't know what I try to just ignore people who are just extremely ignorant, but sometimes you guys just drive me crazy. You guys need to lock in. Why are you guys trying to tell my story for me? That's like the biggest problem you guys have. You guys seem to know everything about me when you haven't even listened to me. You don't know what my situation is. You don't know what I've already done. You assume things based on your own situation. That's your first problem. You're projecting your own bullshit onto me. You don't know what I've tried. You don't know what I've been able to do. You don't know the resources that are happening behind the scene. You don't know that I have a disability and am receiving SSI every month for said disability, and then I have lifetime regional center access for programs to give me resources like housing. Like, what do you want from me? What do you actually want from me? If the answer is I don't want you to be trans, well then fuck off, because I can't change that. I've already gone through surgeries, but besides that, I wouldn't change it even if I could. I don't know what these people want from me. Do they want me to not be alive anymore? I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to stop being trans. That's not going to happen. What do you want from me? You say, oh, you look at, you're living in squalor. You're in the same place you were 5 years ago. Yeah, what do you think I've been working on, buddy? What do you think I've been working on? Like, you're not adding anything to your life. You're not adding anything to my life. I'm concerned about you. Like, what are these people actually need? Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? Leave me the fuck alone. Give me some slack here. Like, I'm just trying my best, just like everybody else is. What did I do to you? Like, seriously, like, what did I do to you to deserve this kind of constant, like, pressure that you guys have on people? Like, Jesus Christ. No, they're not okay. I think they just want a reaction. I don't think anyone actually cares about whether someone is trans or not anymore. Actually, that's where you're wrong. They actually do. They're very mentally ill. But I'm not going around trying to fix them. It's just they show up in my chat, and it's like, you know, sometimes I have the energy to kind of respond to them. I shouldn't, probably. But it's kind of ever present. Like, you just can't do anything about it. Like, you try to talk to them, they just keep coming back. You ignore them, they keep coming back. And I'm like, are you, like, people keep coming back because they saw a video of me from 5 years ago, and they made all sorts of snap judgments about me because they assume things about me just based on that one little teeny tiny thing out of context, without any context whatsoever about me, about my life, about what I've done to improve my life, about anything that I've been doing these past 6 years. But no, all they see is a video, and they see me having a meltdown, because guess what? I'm autistic. What do you want from me? What do you actually want from me? You want me to be perfect? Look in the mirror. You're not perfect. If I looked at your life, I'd probably find 10 times more things than you find about me. Because if you actually go into what I've accomplished, if you actually go in with like a heart, with like empathy, and truly understand what I've been through, I am the strongest fucking bitch you will ever meet in this life. Do you understand? The only thing that is not working is that I haven't fixed a couple of different, like, livelihood problems, like housing. Like, is that all you think there is to life? Once that problem is fixed, what then? Are you gonna find other things to have a problem with me? Are you gonna are you just gonna constantly move the goalpost? Because if what if I was a millionaire? Like, you can't use like a temporary situation, like, oh, you're still living in squalor, you're living in the trailer with your dad, that makes you a failure. No, it doesn't. That can change, and I am changing it. They're moving me into a home. I'm going to have my own apartment, basically. And then eventually Section 8 will kick in and I'll have my own apartment. Or we'll see what happens. The first goal is moving me out of here, where I'm in a supportive, healthy, and like, opportunity-filled environment. What more do you want? Do you want me to fail, or do you want me to succeed? Because I am succeeding. I made a surgery happen that most people can't. Like, it's GG. You will never convince me that I'm a loser. It tells me more about you than it does about me. You want to give me a hug? Aww. Do you smoke weed? No, I quit smoke. I quit. Enough is enough. Like, you go to the mental hospital enough times. But here's the thing. The weed definitely, like, aggravated things, but they were already there. And it's because of this situation. I am 38 years old. For the past 20 years of my life, I have been struggling to get a foothold on life. And I'm only just now starting to. And it's because I asked for help. And it's because I've been doing what I've been doing. And live streaming and all the stuff I've been doing these past 6 years, while I was going through all the surgeries, while I was going through all those agencies, all the stuff that you motherfuckers don't even see because you're only seeing me online. You think that this is all that I am? You think that the only thing I do is live stream on YouTube? What is wrong with you? You're delusional. You think that this is my only life? You think I'm not doing stuff when I log off? You think all I'm doing is making videos and doing live stream? Is like, are you seriously that delusional? That you think that if that's all, I mean, obviously you'd have a point if this was all I was doing. This isn't all I'm doing. I have a job. I started modeling. It's a job in my career path. What more do you want? Like, honestly, I don't know how to, I honestly do not know how to provide the things that you want from me, because I'm already doing them. You're basically like somebody like starts doing the dishes and it's like you're gonna scream at them because they're not doing the dishes faster? Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, they're triggered. Like, they're 100% triggered. They're projecting their own insecurities and their own failures onto me because they're behind an anonymous internet account on social media, and they see somebody who's extremely confident. They see somebody who's extremely successful. I'm going to put an end to this right now. You will never convince me that I am not successful because I have evidence that you are refusing to listen to. I have evidence piled up out the fucking wazoo that I am successful. The only thing that needs to change is housing and career growth. Those things can change. But I've already solved problems that were almost impossible to make happen. Like, you will never convince me I'm a failure. Roid rage? What the fuck? You guys are crazy. You guys know that I have lower testosterone than cisgender women, right? I'm post-op trans woman for 6 years now. Like, well, I've been post-op for 2 years, but I had orchiectomy like 4 years ago. And I was on estrogen since 6 years ago. You know I have lower testosterone than cisgender women, right? I mean, I don't know how to convince you that you're wrong. I don't know how to help these people. I want to help them. I wish I could help these people. Like, the reason I'm yapping is because I'm trying to understand the psychology. Do you guys understand I have, like, special interests, right? You know I'm, like, really intelligent, right? You know I like research psychology and all sorts of stuff. You guys have no idea what I do off stream. Like, you literally do. I could be a millionaire. You guys would have no idea. What if I was already a millionaire and you guys are just coming in here, you look at my background and you only see what you see on stream? What if this was all pretend? You guys are seriously gonna like project all this bullshit onto me without knowing anything about me? Do you have any animals? No, and I don't want pets. Bob, stop spamming. I know, but do you guys see what I'm talking about? Like, you literally know nothing about me besides what you see online. Do you understand that even if you listen to every single stream, which is impossible because I've streamed for like over 6,000 hours these past 6 years. That's like 1,000 hours per year. Do you understand? I've live streamed for over 6,000 hours these past 6 years. And you're telling me that you know more about me than I do. What is wrong with you? You're mentally ill. You need help. If you're coming into my chat saying all this bullshit, you need help. I wish I could help you, but I can't. There's nothing I can say that can help you. Maybe that helps. Like, there's literally nothing I can say that will help you. You are lost. You need to find something, whatever the fuck it is. There's something wrong with you if you go online to tell people how they need to live their lives. Why should I listen to somebody who spends all their free time going onto online social media accounts anonymously to harass other people? Like, why would I take your advice? Learn what words mean? You guys are crazy. Because pets are too much responsibility, Fat Tracks. Why are you guys assuming this? Why do you assume that I'm complaining about being judged? Do you understand I'm not talking about the fact... I've been on the internet for 26 years. Do you understand? I've probably been on the internet longer than you. You guys think I'm actually mad? Maybe I'm better at doing this than I think. Do you guys honestly think I'm mad? Like, you're projecting. You guys are putting yourself into my situation. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I wasn't okay with it. Do you guys understand I could stop the stream at any time? You guys are just crazy. You guys are actually crazy. Why are you here then? If you don't like me, why are you here? That's what I don't understand. You guys keep showing up over and over and over again. What is wrong with you? I don't understand what's going on with you. You guys have been bothering me since that weird video came out from that really terrible situation that happened for me. And instead of seeing my situation with empathy, you chose anger. You chose hatred. Why would you choose hatred? What's wrong with you? Who does this? Why would you not choose compassion? Why would you not choose, like, you know, empathy? I don't understand. I honestly wish I knew how to help you. I mean, cut off is an oversimplification, but yeah, I got a vajayjay. And it's fucking awesome. And I don't know why people seem to think that they know more about my experience than I do. Because a lot of people say, oh, you're never going to be happy. You're going to regret it. It's like, dude, do you fucking wake up spanking your pussy every day? Because I do. And I'm fucking happy. Like, I don't know why are people so delusional? I'm just gonna keep banning people. Why am I here? Just to suffer. No, it was an actual thing that happened. Like, I don't want to go over it. It was like 5 years ago. It was very early on in therapy and in transitioning, and I was trying to, like, you know, I was trying to work on chess, and I was trying to build my live stream on Twitch, and I tried to bring my dad into the stream because I saw, like, you know, like, there was people like the Botes sisters, and I was like, well, maybe I can have my dad on stream because that seems to work for the Botes sisters. They have, like, the family dynamics. And I'm like, oh, maybe my dad could you know, be having fun and stuff. But he was drunk and he escalated things way too hard. Even after I set boundaries, he ignores boundaries. He always does this. When I move out of here, I'm never going to see my dad again. I don't ever want to see him again. He ruined his relationship with me forever because he just does not respect boundaries. I don't know why I'm talking about this with you. And those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Yeah, that's a Nietzsche. Yeah, I mean, true. Oh, oops. I think I'm gonna lose a piece. Oh no, I get the piece back. Okay. Yeah, people are just jealous because they see me living confidently and happy, and they want me to be miserable for some reason. I don't know why they want somebody to be miserable. Why do you want people to suffer? I don't get it. I don't get it. Forgive him? I have tried you guys have no idea. Okay, I'm just gonna ban people. Like, you guys have no idea how much patience I've had with this man. Be careful what you trauma dump on the internet. A bit too late for that. I love him, but I'm gonna set boundaries, and he doesn't respect boundaries. I don't need to go over this because this is private family stuff. I have talked about it before because he kind of brought it upon himself. Like there comes a point where you keep asking people to respect your boundaries, asking people to respect your boundaries, and they refuse to again and again and again. They know you're autistic, and they keep pushing your buttons, getting you to the point of having a screaming meltdown, which is something I physically cannot stop once it happens. It has to just run its course. Do you understand? I have an actual disability. And I try to avoid it, but there's only one person on this planet that can make that actually happen, and he knows how. Do you understand? He is abusing me whenever he does this. And it's like, like people don't see the long-term picture here. That this is something he does. But anyway, do you speak any other languages? Not really. I mean, I've studied Japanese. That's like my second language. I've studied some Spanish, but yeah, I don't need to get into it. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't want to hate on my dad, so like leave my dad alone. This is between me and my family. And I think my biggest mistake was trying to expect him to change. And that's kind of on me, but at some point it's like, I'm just trying to live my life and get the fuck out of here. And he actively makes that harder. And he actively makes my life worse. When I told him to just leave me the fuck alone. And it's hard enough having to live with him. And he just like wants to constantly, every time I leave my room, it's like he's there. Okay, and then he's so lonely. He acts like I'm his friend. And I'm like, leave me alone. You're like driving me nuts. Like I am just trying to survive, and you're like driving me crazy. Living in a trailer with someone like that? And he just gets drunk like every day. No, I'm a chick. Yeah, I'm not gonna take anyone seriously if they think that they know what what I need to do to, like, if you guys are gonna like project. Aw, damn. Can you speak how about make decisions? Well, it's a little harder with these faster time controls. I'm doing these faster time controls because it's more stream friendly. Basically, I'm trying to control the center here. I want to develop my knight. It defends that pawn. Black has a pawn chain. I gotta capture back. Yeah, and then you're gonna put pressure here. I can actually... Okay, I don't want to leave that pawn undefended. I'm pretty sure... I actually have to bring the queen out. But then I leave that pawn. Okay, and then... And I probably just like bring out the bishop. I pretty much gave up on that pawn. But if they don't take care of that... Okay, attacking the queen. Take the pawn. And then I develop the bishop. Or the knight. I'm going to develop the knight. Attacking the queen. And do I want to castle kingside or queenside? If I get the queen off this file, I castle queenside and take the empty file with the rook. Okay, yeah, let me develop the bishop first. Okay, basically... You know what? I can actually do this and then castle. And then I'll be able to have some pressure on the open file with the rook. Queen on the same file with potential reveal attack. Okay, well in this case, attack the queen again. I'm going to claim open file. Yeah, let's just get the rooks connected. Need to bring this other rook over. Claim the semi-open file. Okay, yeah, let's, before I do any kind of ideas, because there's a couple ideas here. Either I can, okay, yeah, now you're threatening mate. I can just move the bishop in, and now I'm attacking this knight. I'm going to win a pawn here, because if the queen, once the queen moves off of the diagonal, it take the knight, pawn takes, and then queen takes the pawn, and I'm attacking the rook. Okay, with check. Yeah, I can actually just also continue to attack the queen. Okay, and then I do have it's the same thing that was going on. Let me just actually do I really just want to take the piece? Yeah, there's, you know, I'm just gonna suffer the checkmate. Aliens are real and they walk among us? I mean, I would know. Ultimate position, squat on chair. Yeah, hey Pandy Toast. When they dig up graves in the future, do you guys know that bones disintegrate? And that they don't even use, when they look at, obviously, even when bones are fossilized, they can't tell most of the, I don't even think they use the bones. And first of all, only if they're fossilized. But even when they're fossilized, they deform, and you can't tell the gender based on the bone. Do you guys not understand basic biology? You guys are always talking about biology, but whenever it actually turns into a conversation about real biology, you guys are clueless. Do you guys understand that the way that they figure out what gender or what sex somebody is, what biological sex somebody is when they do like excavations of areas, they usually get, you know, kind of make a guess based on what was in their what was in their domicile, like in their housing, like what kind of furniture they had or what kind of clothes they were wearing, and those are usually guesses. Or they kind of put, like, historians do things that are like nowhere near, like, not archaeologists. They do not use skeletons to determine biological sex. They can't, because skeletons disintegrate. Do you guys understand? When you bury something, it disintegrates? Do you guys understand this? Yeah, women and men do have different bone structures, and even that is like not 100% for everyone. There are some women that have more masculine bone structures than some men. Do you understand? Like, biology is so much more complicated than this. And you guys are trying to boil it down to some stupid copy-paste bullshit because you want to hate trans people. That's all there is to it. You want to have a reason to hate us, and you're going to keep on moving the goalposts because you're going to constantly find some new reason to send an argument. Nothing that anybody says is going to change your mind. You are set in stone. You are lost. You are just trying to copy paste talking points to further set in stone what you already believe. You're not trying to have a conversation. You're not trying to learn. You're not trying to do anything other than trying to solidify what you already believe. And no amount of evidence is going to change what you believe because you're not even listening. Yeah, women's hips are designed for birthing a woman, but there are variations. Do you guys not understand this? Humans aren't black and white. Like there's a whole bunch of variations. And either way, none of this matters. Because people say, oh, 1,000 years from now, they're going to dig up your skeleton and they're going to say you're a man. My skeleton is not going to exist in 1,000 years. Are you dumb? Are you a stupid person? There is no evidence. There is you being banned from my chat. Hey, what's up, Serby? You're better with glasses on? I like taking them off, even though I obviously see better with them, but it also kind of acts like a prop. Like, I can take them off for effect. Like, it's kind of nice. You know what? Like, I'm just gonna stop arguing with you. You guys are losers. I think you're beautiful. You look like a woman. That's the most important. I don't feel threatened by you. I would love to have transfer. Awesome. Well, Lorix. But also, it's like, whether or not I'm beautiful or whether or not I'm ugly, like, it's just like, what's wrong with you? What do you guys want from me? You guys need help. They need help. I'm gonna try my best not to engage with these people, because it's like, you guys aren't listening, and you guys will never listen. And no amount of evidence, no amount of lived experience, no amount of medical consensus will convince you. You're just a cockroach. You're a loser. You're going to die a loser. And nobody likes you. You're going to die alone. You're not going to have any friends, because nobody likes somebody who just spouts hate at everybody. Why would they? It's counterproductive. Who wants to be friends with somebody that just hates everybody? Nobody. Nobody's going to like you. No one's going to be interested in you. You're going to die alone. Get fucked. Is this a dorm? No, it's a trailer. I'm going to be moving out soon, though. Even the bones of prehistoric humans still exist? If they were fossilized... Those still aren't bones. Those are fossilized bones. Yeah, they try to flip my words around. They try to say, oh, but you say no matter what evidence we won't change, but whenever we give evidence, like, it's not evidence, it's misinformation. It's not even true what you're saying. You guys are spouting nonsense. You guys are spouting ignorant, hateful, bigoted statements that have already been, like, verified to be false. You guys are using information that you want to hear rather than listening to the things that are true. Do you understand what's going on here? You guys, the only evidence that people use are things that have already been discredited in the scientific community. The Cassie review or whatever, that's been discredited for years. But people keep citing it as like, oh, what? You guys are sucking me into politics. Get the fuck out. Get fucked, you cockroaches. You guys are cockroaches. Get fucked. Government's conspiracy from Big Dairy. A skinny bone Neanderthal? I mean, possibly. I mean, I am pretty stupid. Yeah, no, Raven, it's just... I mean, Lucifer, like these people's goal is not to have an argument. Their goal is not to make sense. Their goal is not to understand trans people. Their goal is not to do anything. They just are addicted to arguing with people, and trans people are the easiest target because there's so much misinformation. There's so few of us, and these people, they don't even care about trans people. They just see a target for their mental illness. That's all it is. And to try to think about it, to try to engage in it, to try to argue with it is like trying to argue with a child who wants a cookie and it's past their, like, it's like trying to argue with a child. It's not going to work. You just have to ban them and ignore them. In 1,000 years, when they dig up my bones, they're gonna say, why was this person frozen in carbonite? And then I'll reawaken and take over the universe. True. Yeah, I mean, what happened to all American values of, like, respecting people for being different and being able to talk about, like, different ideas without, hating each other? Whatever happened to genuinely giving people the benefit of the doubt and trusting that maybe people are making good decisions based on what their own needs are? Whatever happened to, like, living your own life? Like, whatever happened to basic respect and dignity to other people in your community? Aren't those supposed to be American values? But it seems to have been twisted. It seems to have gotten twisted. I don't understand why people would do that. That's not like it's like traditional American values. Like, yeah, you could take away all the bad parts. Okay, we don't need to get into a history lesson. Like, there was slavery here. Like, there's a whole bunch of, like, really hyper religious values. There was a communist scare, and people were being targeted just for having different political beliefs. Right after we ended a war with a Nazi regime that was literally trying to end people for being different, we turned around and started putting in people in internment camps. We started what happened? Like, why do people want to go back to that? Why do you want to go backwards? And trans people are the easiest target because you guys just don't want to understand us. You want us to not exist. There is no other conclusion that you can come to if you guys keep on trying to find new arguments. The fact that you're finding arguments in the first place, you keep wanting to find new arguments to justify why I shouldn't exist. You're already coming in hot, right? You're already coming in with the intention of trying to delegitimize my existence. Do you see why there's a problem and why I'm just gonna ban you and ignore you? Like, I can make you my free use living flashlight? What? Was respecting differences ever an American value? I'm pretty sure at some point people would have very hard discussions at, like, the dinner table or like in colleges, like in the 60s and like I'm pretty sure like in the 60s and 70s people were having very serious real conversations about like the racial divide and stuff like that. And, the sexual divide and the gender divide. And, like, people were having conversations. People would get very heated about it. But then you kind of just move on and you're able to live together and work together. Like, what happened to that? Why does it have to be black versus white? Why does it have to be, like, you're wrong and I'm right, and as long as I'm right, you're wrong, and we can't ever work together? Like, why does it have to be like this? Gooner-brained? True. Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna have whatever conversations you're having. Get it out of your system, because whatever the fuck you're going on about, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just sitting here playing chess, like, getting really excited about, what's happening in my life. It's really challenging, because I actually don't know until things actually start happening, but I am going to be okay. The process is in motion, and I am actively pursuing a better life, and I have worked really hard for it. And all the people in chat who think that I'm some kind of, like, there's a lot of people in chat projecting, so, like, it has nothing to do with me. You guys can believe whatever you want to believe. If you want to take the blue pill, take the fucking blue pill. But whatever. I know too much. I know what matters. Like, focus on yourself. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you live the best life you can, because nobody else matters. You guys can think whatever you want, but I'm the one who gets to live my life, and I'm having a fucking, like, huge amount of success happening in my life. And I have for a while. And for some reason, you're convinced that I haven't. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on with your brain, but it's a waste of energy trying to understand. However, I am genuinely kind of fascinated with this phenomenon that is happening in my chat constantly. It's kind of like a constant, like, psychological study every time I go live. Do you have knee growths? What the hell does that mean? What? Like, it's kind of interesting. Every time I start my chat, it's like a psychological experiment. Like, I'm getting access to, like, the cockroach brain. Like, every single time I go live. Like, I'm basically a scientist. You're saying I understand chess like I do? Carrie Thacker? Like, I actually have a lot of problems with my chess. But it's okay. We're just playing some Blitz and having a good time, because I already played my rapid games. I played my 60-minute games earlier tonight. Bro is yapping too much. I'm literally a live streamer. That's literally the only reason to go live, is to yap. It's like, oh, why is this person dressed in a clown suit? The person who's a professional clown at the circus? Like, what is wrong with you? Why is this person acting in a movie? What? You guys are crazy. When did you start your transition? I started my transition technically 20 years ago when I was 18, but I didn't actually start transitioning medically because I was not strong enough, like psychologically, and there was a lot of resources that were not available when I was 18. Like, insurance started covering it when I was 31. Well, it probably started covering it before that, but I didn't know about it, and I wasn't strong enough to actually pursue it until I was 31. And then I went to therapy, and I started transitioning at 31 in September of 2019. It was while I was streaming on Twitch, and Twitch kind of helped me see what mattered, because I was going live like every day playing chess, and there's only so much you can do to ignore your problems before you have to face them. And that's like one of the things that happened was I was live streaming so much, and I was being so honest with myself that when I wasn't streaming, I was like, hey, like, I need to do this. Because I knew when I was 18, I had some independence, somewhat. I was working at Taco Bell, and I realized I would be happier with a vagina. And the more I thought about it, the happier I felt. And I'm like, I would be so much happier. Like, I can't believe that I've never realized this. But then I realized how challenging it would truly be. And then I went back in the closet, because it would have, oops. Oh, never mind. Because it would have been, I would have had to pay for it all out of pocket. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, I'm on X. I would have had to pay for everything out of pocket. I would have had to, like, fly overseas potentially. I would have had to pay for all my doctor visits. I would have had to pay for everything. And I didn't have that money. In fact, I was in the homeless shelters for a while. For like 4 years, I was homeless shelters and couch surfing. So it was not really possible for me to transition. And, you know, but then September 2019 came around, and I realized, you know, I talked to my doctor. I was like actually like willing to have these tough conversations, which I wasn't. I was kind of ignoring things for a while. I was like kind of living in denial. Actually, not kinda. I was. And so it was this situation where kind of like the pressure reached to like a boiling point where it was just I couldn't handle it anymore. And then I realized that if I wanted to, I could start transitioning because insurance covers the surgeries and the legal name and gender change here in California with my insurance. And so I said, well, now there's a path. Am I going to take it? Because that's the real thing that matters. Once you have all the things opened, like once you have all the doors opened, the real question is, am I willing to go through it? And the answer was yes. And I proved it by doing it. So I don't know why people are convinced of things that aren't true. They seem to think that this is easy. They seem to think that anybody could just do this without any kind of years and years and years of pain and suffering. Honestly, even if the things that people claimed were true about trans people, like, oh, they're just trying to get into women's spaces. Well, if anybody deserves it, it's people who went through all the fucking surgeries, because you have to sacrifice everything about who you are to become a woman. So at that point, what's the difference? Because is there any man on this goddamn earth that would go through all of that? No, there's only women. Because if you're a man, you would not go through all this. There's no reason. There's literally nothing to gain. You would suffer endlessly. You would be in pain every day. Because you would be inducing gender dysphoria. Just what? So you could go into a door to a bathroom? Like you would go through life-altering surgeries if you weren't actually trans, if you weren't actually female. There's no way in hell you would go through this. Like, are you kidding me? But instead, it's so much easier for people to convince themselves that we're mentally ill. And like, yeah, people are mentally ill. So are you. I don't understand how to deal with this problem, because as a live streamer, as a content creator, as a performer, as literally anything, if you're trans, people turn your entire life into some kind of political talking point. And I don't know how to fix this problem. And I'm not going to run away from my life. I don't want to ignore my life. Usually, okay. Yeah, they're projecting, because it's like, they say like, oh, why are they sexualizing children? It's like, they say like, oh, why are you putting a dress on a boy and sexualize? Like, do you think a girl wearing a dress is sexual? It sounds like a self-report. I don't know why I'm going into these talking points. Go back to Hassan or Asmongold. Get the fuck out of my chat. You're not welcome here. Stop doing this. I'm just not gonna engage the best I can. I'm not gonna engage. It's really hard not to. But like, I'm not gonna get sucked into the same bullshit that Hassan and Asmongold and all these people get to. Because if you want to talk about those same copy pasta transphobic rhetoric, go over to Hassan or Asmongold. He'll engage with it. Like, either of those people are going to engage with it. Get fucked. Do you stream at the same time every morning? Nah, I'm just kind of mostly streaming as kind of like... I know it's hard to believe, but this is actually pretty relaxing. I've been on the internet for 26 years. This is actually how I kind of, it gives me a lot of energy to it. It also gives me perspective. Like when I see how ignorant people are, it makes me feel better about myself. Even though it's a little bit stressful, but a little bit of stress can sometimes be good. It gives perspective. It reminds me of like how much better I'm off than I realized. Cause like no amount of like hate speech online is gonna convince me that I'm a failure. I've already succeeded. I've already got more than I wanted. I got facial surgery. I got vaginoplasty. I didn't even think I would get vaginoplasty when I first knew I was trans when I was 18, which was 20 years ago. Get me riled up? I'm fine. I don't know why people seem to think that I'm upset. Is it because of the tone of my voice? Am I just a good actress? Like, I don't understand why people genuinely think that I'm, like, getting riled up. Just because I'm a content creator. I'm literally live streaming. This is the place to yap. It's literally the place to yap. It's where you're supposed to. Like, what do you want? I don't understand what these people want. Yeah, everybody seems to think that I look like I'm in my 20s. It might be true. I mean, I was born 1988, so I'm 38 years old. It's just a number. I seemed a bit upset. No, I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm used to it. It's just, you know, it's like, I can't give up. Because there's no avoiding the kind of transphobia. Like, people are going to find the easy targets because they're lazy and because they have mental illness. But I'm not going to give up my life just because of the transphobia. That's what they want. But also, I believe it can be... I already know my life is better. So I'm not going to say, oh, one day it's going to be better. It's already better. The only problem is that I get some losers in my chat, but that's true for anybody streaming or content creating. Like, you know, haters are gonna hate, bro. Haters are gonna hate. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, you're gonna get hate. It doesn't even matter if you're not a live streamer. Like, you're gonna get hate if you're like an actor. People are just not gonna like you. And for whatever reason, instead of actually living their own life and trying to improve their own situation, they're just going to get mad at people who are successful. And I'm sorry that you're unable to get things in your life, but work for it the way I did. I worked for everything I have. I know people are convinced that I am just a complainer. I know people are convinced that I'm actually just getting handouts. I earned everything I have. Everything. It's because I fought for it. I didn't get these things just by sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I didn't get what I have by just complaining on the internet. I got everything I have because I did something about it. Yeah, it's checkmate. Yeah, there's plenty of people. That's why I live stream. It's because there's people who show up who matter. There's people who see, like, there's reasonable people out there. And so I try to focus on those people because I treat it like a video game a little bit. Every time I go live, I'm going to get a big chunk of people who are just, like, annoying. And then there's going to be, like, 1 or 2 people that are like, hey, you're pretty awesome. I'm going to come to your next stream. That's why I do this. Because for every like 10 people that are annoying, there's like 1 person who's awesome. And that wouldn't happen if I didn't go live. And also it's because it's just who I am. I'm a content creator. I'm a performer. I've been a performance artist since I was like 4 years old or 5 years old. I'm a performance artist. So I need to pursue a life that's about that. And one of those things is live streaming and YouTubing. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things. And those come with a cost. Being present and openly who you are online comes at a cost. And I may not be super successful, but what would you rather I do? Give up on being myself? Give up on my career? Give up on my life? That sounds like what like if I did that, what would I be? What would be the point of living? What would be the point of waking up every day? If I didn't even pursue a life worth living, if I didn't even pursue a career, if I didn't try to make a living doing what I can do, like if I didn't try to become the best version of myself that I can possibly be, why would you, like, people are so short-sighted. Like, what choice do I really have but to try? And maybe I'm gonna fail, but when I fail, I learn and I get back up. Just like everybody else. I don't know why I gave up a piece. Oh, never mind, I didn't. Okay, for a split second, I thought... Okay. For a split second, I thought I didn't have that. That was a little scary. Oops. What am I doing? Why did I do that? Fuck. Yeah, I'm never gonna give up. I'm 38 years old. If I didn't give up when I was 12 and experiencing extreme bullying and having like nothing like looking like it was ever gonna work out, if I didn't give up like during my high school years when everything was just completely just miserable and nothing looked like it was ever going to work out, if I didn't give up in my 20s, my early 20s when I was homeless and it looked like I would never work out, why would I give up now after I've achieved like so much success already in getting to my goals? Which other people might disagree about, but it's not up to you. Thankfully. Thank God. It's not up to you, because if it were up to you, I'd be miserable. I would be full of regret, but I'm not. I'm full of contentment and like knowing that I'm doing the best I fucking can to live the best life I can. What other way to live life is there, if not trying to do your best? I don't know what people think is success. Because if success is giving up on everything, then I don't know what to tell you. Because how can I give up on things and consider myself successful? I don't get it. How is that any better than like, people say, oh, but you're not making any money, you're not famous, you're not doing... Like, so those things are variables. They can change. And who cares about my chess performance in a blitz game online? I don't know what people seem to think, that because I have a low rating that my life is miserable. What part of my blitz rating tells you that this is my entire identity? I don't know why people seem to... It's projection. Well, good night, Allie K. Thanks for stopping by. Some people, their entire identity is their chess elo. Like, their chess rating is their entire identity. That's pretty sad. Like, I understand that I'm not the best chess player in the world, but I'm trying. And just because you only see me play on stream, obviously I'm going to play worse on stream. Obviously I'm not going to take it as seriously. Because I'm live streaming. I'm talking to you guys. This is a social event. Like I'm treating it differently. Don't you understand? And I'm not going to read your guys' suggestions while I'm playing, by the way, because this is a rated game and I can't get outside suggestions. So I'm not going to read chat while I play. I'm like not going to really like I try my best to not even look at chat while I play. You know, that's why I'm playing shorter games, because if I was playing longer games, you guys would tell me what moves to make and then I'd get banned for cheating. Do you guys understand? I know a lot of people stream chess, so so it's like they have a lot of like kind of, I think that it's kind of like an honor system, right? I don't cheat. I don't try to cheat. I don't let people tell me what moves to make. There is a delay on the stream, but that's why I play faster games, because if I played longer games, first of all, I'd be distracted, and if I'd rather play longer games off stream. Oh, I think I can draw here. Nice. Prawn to f6. You still on? Yeah, it's one of those nights. You had mate? Yeah, but I didn't have enough time to figure it out. Yeah, so like I think like people for some reason think they know how I should run my stream. Oh, like people for some reason think they know how I should run my stream. They're like, they think they know what my plan is. You guys know that I'm intelligent and I'm capable of developing a chess improvement plan, and that when you see me online, you see me on my stream, that this isn't the only thing that I'm doing. That this is like a phenomenon that's like, it's not just about chess, it's not just about other parts of my life. People seem to think they know what my life is just because they see me streaming online. You think that this is all I do. There's only 24 hours a day, and I'm not streaming 24 of those hours. And I don't even stream every day. So why are you judging me based on what you see me doing in a very finite amount of time? This is one part of my life. What I do on my stream is only one tiny part of my life. What I share here, I chose what to share. Like, I don't know why people don't understand that when somebody's a streamer, we pick and choose what we do for content. Do you guys not respect my intelligence? Like, do you think that I'm not capable of improving at chess? And you think that how I play on stream is how I study chess? You know that there's times where I study chess off stream, right? And I play rapid games off stream. And I just got back into chess like yesterday, after like a year and a half off. I have a study plan. But for live streaming, I can't really study on stream because I'm distracted. So I may as well make the best of it by just kind of casually playing, just for fun, and because like it's at least I'm at least like doing a little bit of chess. But also it's something that's very social and people like watching. I mean, if you want to get into that, Lucifer, how'd you get out of the homeless shelter? If you want to talk about it, I don't really want to talk about it. You're basically looking at it. I moved back in with my dad. I was trying to make my own life happen. I was trying to work with the homeless shelter people. I was trying to work with like counselors, but nothing worked. And eventually I got a job, and then I moved back in because, I am on the lease here. Why are you crashing out? That's your first assumption. I'm not crashing out. You guys don't know what crashing out is. You have no idea. You have not seen me anywhere near my worst. You guys have no idea how bad things were before I started streaming in 2019. I had just started streaming, and my life started slowly improving after that. It was rough, and it's still rough, but it's improving. Do you guys not know what improvement means? Improvement doesn't mean it's suddenly better all at once. It means that it's on the right track. My life has been in an upward trajectory for the past 6 years. You guys have no idea how bad things were. You guys weren't here. I wasn't streaming. And I was like on social media a little bit, but you guys understand that people are more than just their social media accounts. People are more than just their live streamer persona. People are more than what they put online. Do you guys not know this? You're very calm and relatable, and you remind me of a friend I had growing up, but they're gone now. I'm sorry to hear that, Raven. Come to Canada and live in your igloo? Maybe not. I don't think living with a viewer is the solution. I think working with the agency that is literally designed to help people with my specific developmental disorder, that are funded by government programs to help people like me, to put me in a stable living situation with coaching and opportunities and resources. That's probably the better option, which is the option that I've been fighting for the past 6 years, and it's about to happen. So probably the thing that I've been continually fighting for is probably the better option. Just a thought. What kind of job did you get? It's part-time, but I have SSI, so I have income. I actually can't earn too much or I lose my SSI. So actually it's good that I work a job that's more long-term career development rather than trying just to earn money. I could earn more money if I really tried, but I would also be sacrificing a lot of mental health right now. I'm about to be in a new living situation where I could start pursuing my more of my modeling career online, because I've made a couple thousand. I made like $3,000 or $4,000 online as a model. So I'm pretty good at it, but I haven't put enough time in it. I would just kind of start and then go for like a few weeks and then stop. And it's because of this living situation, and that's about to change. And I'm going to have a better environment, a better studio environment, better lighting, better camera angles, more freedom, more privacy. I'm going to have the ability to make way better content and upload it to a certain hub and start gaining followers, and make some money too. Hopefully not so. It's going to be tricky. Because if I earn a certain amount of money per year, I lose my SSI, and if I lose my SSI, I can't pay my bills, and so I better earn enough to pay my bills, and that's the danger. But life is a little risky, and it's not like the end of the world. It might be temporarily I make less money with SSI, but as soon as I stop earning enough money, it comes back. So it's not the end of the world. There's worse things. But it would be a headache. And I think right now it's more realistically, it's very hard to actually earn enough money as a model for a very long time. But so I actually kind of have the luxury of being able to pursue it. Because I can pursue something that doesn't earn money right away. And even though I do earn money, but not enough to work full time. I mean, maybe it'll happen. Who knows? Either way, I'm going to have support. I'm going to have resources. There are people backing me up. And I'm going to live the best life I can. And I think I can become very successful as a model. I've already proven that I can make a good chunk of money that most people can't. Like my very first weekend, I earned $300. And that was like before surgery. That was like worst camera. I was very new to it. I earned $300 the first weekend ever. And after like 4 months, I was making like $500 a month on OnlyFans after like 3 months or 2 months. You can't earn the max you can because then you lose. Yeah, exactly. I have to actually earn less money in order to keep my benefits. But if I just stay, but there's a risk. There's a risk of not pursuing a career, because if I don't pursue a career, I'm going to be stuck like that forever. And so I have to take that risk. life requires risk, but there's gains. So it's worth it. And as long as I keep fighting and I keep showing up and I keep trying to improve, I keep collaborating, I keep like networking, I'm going to get there. And also I have resources. There's like agencies that specifically work with autistic people for modeling. And I'm also not just putting all my eggs in one basket. Like I'm doing like adult, like sexual modeling, but I'm also, I can pursue like acting and other types of modeling, like non-sexual. And I'm also a writer, and I'm also a chess player and a content creator on like YouTube and such. So all of those things are variables that can be tweaked, and I could get better at them, and they already are. I'm getting significantly more viewers this past month, or these past 2 months, than I've had in 6 years of live streaming. I'm getting viewers. Yeah, but I mean, in order to make progress, I have to take the risk. Because what other choice do I have? I don't want to live with the bare minimum for the rest of my life. I want to pursue greatness. I want to be the best I can. I want to succeed. I want to be one of those badass bitches that people always wish they could be. Not for some kind of ego, but because like that, I owe it to myself. I set a challenge for myself. I said I want to succeed where most people fail. Most people fail when they try to, do some kind of any type of content related career. Most people fail. But you don't fail if you keep getting back up. I'm already making progress. You will not convince me that I should give up. You're never going to convince me to give up. I'm just, it's impossible. I already have evidence. I already have proof. You're not going to change my mind. Stop trying. I wish people didn't constantly try to convince people to quit because they think that they're protecting them. I'm an adult. I have intelligence. I'm capable of critical thinking. And it's extremely disrespectful to assume that you're saying things that I haven't already thought about. Which is why I just don't understand why people seem to think that they know more information when they just came into my channel. They don't know anything about me, and yet they're talking as if they're some kind of like genius coming up with information I haven't thought of before. Like it's just it's mind-boggling. Common streamer chat member relationship. What the? What the hell? Oh, maybe I should get rid of that extension. I think it's screwing up Restream chat. Yeah, people are just really delusional if they think that they know anything about what my plans are. I've talked about them, but even that is like, you guys don't know how deep this goes. Like, I have been spending the last 6 years of my life trying to figure out how to live a better life and how to grow a career. You guys think that all I'm relying on is YouTube? You guys are more delusional than I even thought. You think that all I'm doing is trying to become a live streamer. If that's all you think about me, you're already gone. Like, you have no idea what my plan involves because I haven't even fully started it yet. I'm waiting until I move out of this trailer. Like, you guys don't even know what my plan is because you haven't even seen it. I've talked about a little bit of it. Yeah, glad you liked it, Damon. I just, people are so, they think they know everything and they don't. They think they know everything about me. They don't. They're projecting their own insecurities. Like they have like preconceived notions about what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, some people have achieved success and they might know a little bit more, but honestly, like, they don't know what works for me because they aren't me. They're a different person. And I don't care because what alternative do I have other than trying to make the best out of a life that only I have to live? Do you understand? And I'm trying to utilize skills that I possess and passions and like goals. Like, I want to see how far I can go as a performance artist. I want to see what I can do. Like, why would people have a problem with this? Why do you not want me to be the best I can be? Like, you might think, oh, why didn't I take that with the bishop? Fuck. Oh, I won by resignation anyway. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna take a. It's been 2 hours and 42 minutes. Kind of want to like step back for a little bit. Got a little bit heated. It's what happens when these kind of people show up to my chat. It's unfortunate, but sometimes people really do get the best of me, and they make me feel like a lot more worked up than I probably should be. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't really understand like what's wrong with people. What is your elo? It's really low, but I'm working on it. I don't really care too much about my rating for Blitz. I kind of see it as like kind of like a meme. I'm like, I've been at like 1200 to 1300 online before, but it goes down really quickly because I get really tilted, and because I play Blitz while I'm streaming mostly. Actually, I don't play at all off stream when it's Blitz. If I'm playing off stream, I play Rapid. I play like 1510 or longer. So if you see me online, like if you see me playing on stream, my rating doesn't, I don't care about my rating. I just don't care. Some people really care about the rating. They have a lot of ego attached to it. That's not me. I have no ego when it comes to rating. I don't even care about rating. The thing that matters to me is, did I make a blunder? Did I think properly? Did I play the best I could? That's how I focus. You peaked around 950. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't care about rating. It doesn't matter. You can even say that your FIDE rating doesn't really matter either. It's just a record of your win versus loss versus draw ratio, like against similar rated opponents. That's all it is. It's just an indicator of what your relative skill level is. You should always be focused on the chess itself. That's the only thing that actually matters. If you focus on the chess, your rating will follow. And so I'm trying to get back into chess. It's a little hard right now. You guys don't understand, like, when you're running under constant stress, you're running off of cortisol. I am in an extremely terrifying situation, in a living situation that is just absolute, like, it feels hopeless, despite having all the help that I have, and that it's about to change. I feel completely drained all the time. I can't concentrate. Every time I try to improve something, I hit a wall. you don't understand like how I've been able to achieve all the things I've been able to achieve. It should be more of an indicator of how strong I am. Most people would crumble. Even if you big brain, you need to play tons of games to increase. I'm not jobless to play. You're gonna say everybody who plays chess is like jobless? Like, come on. No, you gotta be disciplined. And you want to play a lot of games, and you want to win a lot of games. That's all there is to it. But you shouldn't attach your ego to your rating. It's like the rating will go up and down. Well, thank you, Sydney Sweeney, Todd. Yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes I go live. Like, I know it seems like I'm worked up. I'm actually like super chill. You guys have no idea. I'm just hanging out in my pajamas, wearing a sweatshirt, just playing some chess and chatting. Okay, like that's all that's going on. This is, I mean, I feel like kind of invigorated when I talk with chat, even if they're like hating on me. Like it kind of makes me feel alive. Plus I'm pretty lonely, so just having someone to talk to is like pretty nice. Hi, Serenade Chan. Yeah, I want to do some drawing. So I'm gonna restart the stream in a little bit. I'm gonna take a small break. It's 3:31. I think I'm gonna take like 30 minutes to kind of rest from this stream and kind of reset myself. And then I'm gonna get situated for some drawing. I'm gonna do some. I think actually I want to do some coloring. I got crayons. I want to do some coloring. I got crayons. So I'll be back in a little bit with to restart the stream. I'll be back and we'll just do some drawing and just chill. Yeah, sometimes I just get bombarded with people like that in the chat, and I know that that's not going to change. This is YouTube especially, and in the shorts feed, like these people, the fact that they're coming to my channel should tell them something about themselves. If they hate trans people so much, then why am I getting recommended in their feed? They're obviously obsessed with trans people. Like they're absolutely obsessed with me. If anything, it shows me that I'm on a road towards success. But it is kind of distracting, and I wish it wasn't so bad, but I gotta get better. Like, it's up to me. I can ignore them. I can ban them. I don't have to engage with them. I don't have to let it derail my conversation. I do sometimes hit a good sweet spot, but sometimes I do get a little tilted, just like in chess. Sometimes I get a little tilted, and I start interacting with people more than I should. But sometimes I hit a sweet spot, so I always try to fight for those, because it's nice when I can just like kind of like shrug it off and just kind of laugh about it, even because like I said, they're projecting. It says more about them than it does about me. I'm fucking awesome, and I'm gonna live my life with that as the truth. Now I suck at blitz, but I'm a lot better at rapid and classical. And that's true for everybody, even like super grandmasters, even the world champion in chess, like Magnus Carlsen. If he's playing blitz, he's not going to be playing as good as rapid, and if he's playing rapid, he's not going to be playing as well as if he was playing classical, right? Classical, you have just so many more hours on your clock, you're going to be more focused because you're playing an over-the-board tournament. It's like higher stakes, you know, there's like prize money involved. Like, like these kind of things, it's just always relative, right? So you play Blitz, you're not going to be playing as well as you play the other ones. Anyway, I'll be back shortly. I just need to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back and do some drawing, because I didn't do any drawing today. I just need to kind of reset a little bit.